What is up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be spectating random players in Fortnite Zero Build. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you like to see more, and comment down below if you've been able to reach level 200 so far in Chapter 4, Season 4, because there's only about 2 weeks left in the season as of the time I post this video. I think there's like 14 days left. We're getting very close to the end of Season 4 and launch of Season 5, and then at that point, Season 5 is going to be a month-long season, so we won't be very long from the end of Chapter 4 and then the launch of Chapter 5. So I think I think the next few months in Fortnite is going to be like some of the most exciting time to be playing the game. Let's get into it. I don't know where I want to land this game. We can maybe just do brutal. Like, I don't really like going Eclipse Estate and watching people because I feel like they take forever to eliminate the boss sometimes, and it's just kind of annoying. Maybe go Frenzy because there is a radio tower there, and Frenzy does tend to be pretty hot. So I guess we'll do that. I don't remember where I went for the last video like this I made. It was probably going to have been Eclipse Estate because that was when the Halloween update had just come out. And I've seen a lot of people like pretty disappointed in this Fortnitemares. I think it's just pretty solid. I don't think it's the best Fortnitemares ever. I don't think it's the worst for sure. I think 2018 has to take the cake for worst Fortnitemares ever for me, but I think it depends a lot on perspective because a lot of players kind of feel like this one doesn't have as much Halloween vibes as some past Fortnitemares. 2018 definitely killed it in that department, but I feel like just the gameplay of that Fortnitemares was better. Whereas like this year, there definitely isn't as many decorations or things like that on the map, but I feel like the game is solid. We're gonna be rewarded with Try Watch 1. They got a scoped burst SMG. There is another player in this barn. They're throwing a business turret. This should be a free kill for them. GG's. They ended up taking a decent amount of damage in that fight, surprisingly. I thought that was going to be a free kill with the person throwing the business turret. When I land Frenzy, I like landing here. This initial barn is pretty chaotic at times, but there is a few heist bags here. That's one of the things that changed in Season 4 is that there's heist bags here, and so pretty decent chance of getting shockwaves. If you've done his challenges, you can hire the Nolan Chance NPC. He works as one of the Sniper Scout NPCs. They also sell a gold twin mag, which I don't really ever buy. Whenever I'm streaming and land here, I have people telling me I can buy the twin mag arrow, but one of the main reasons for landing Frenzy is that the forecast tower is right there. And if you're going to get the radio tower, you're going to get a gold twin mag already anyway, so I just don't really feel like spending the gold on it. But yeah, there they go. That's one of the 3 heist bags here. They end up getting shockwaves. There's people fighting outside, but I think it's AI with how long they've just been shooting. And what I like to do here is just land, try to clear this barn as fast as possible, and then clear the rest of Frenzy, and then try to make my way over towards the radio tower. I've had people ask me like for tips on getting the radio towers. The radio tower at Frenzy is going to be over here. I think one of the biggest things you can do to like make your life easier for getting the radio towers is just going to be to get there first and try to clear that area just first. So like ideally, you would like to clear this Frenzy area a bit faster than what this player is doing, and then clear the area surrounding the radio tower as well. And one thing you can make note of is if you're at this one, just any of the radio towers nearby a vault location, is that the vault will have like a green check on it if it's been opened. You see the key is downed. If the person opens the vault, there will be a green check, and then at that point, you know, if someone's going Relentless, they're probably going to come Frenzy in this radio tower afterwards. Whereas like if Relentless hasn't been opened, you probably don't have to worry about somebody coming from there as much. Player decides to go for the rocket ram over the shockwaves. Hard to disagree on that, but it is what it is. Same thing with the Maven over the Sharptooth. I don't really care for how this person is playing the game, and now they're just not playing the game for some reason. So I don't like, it's always a struggle making these videos when people just randomly stop playing for who knows what reason. But that is Fortnite players. Okay, this player is good. I fought them before. And they're at Relentless Retreat, so a lot of what I was just talking about applies. That's great. Do you see now it has the green check on it? That means someone has opened the vault. And so if you are kind of at this tower waiting for people to come, whether or not that's been opened can be like a pretty big indicator to you. But yeah, I run into this player a decent amount. I think they're solid, like if I remember correctly. It's like usually if I recognize their name, it's because they're decent. And like they usually put up fights that are, you know, worth remembering. This is like a weird situation because like that player is camping the vault and then he's just kind of waiting here. Like it's a weird fight for either player to progress it. I think he's just gonna like, I guess his business turret will maybe do something. Okay, GG. uses a business turret to bait that guy out. That actually works surprisingly well. I hate fights like that, and that's one of the reasons why I don't like coming to the vault locations. Because there's a lot of fights that are just like kind of nothing like that, where you have a right shoulder peek, that person has a right shoulder peek, and just nothing happens. I think what I would have tried to do is like shockwave through, like, because if you activate the lasers, you can shockwave through the little door that comes off and then push them. But I really dislike fights like that are just like kind of pointless. And he's gonna be going for double mobility with the sharp tooth and the twin mag arrow. This is definitely viable. You can do double mobility or like mobility ice wall, mobility bunkers, and all of those things work fine. But it's going to be rough if they do have to fight an exotic Maven or just somebody who gets in their face with like pump combat SMG, because like the damage output of this setup is not as good as like pump combat SMG. But if you play, you know, a bit smarter, and if you are able to play more like controlled in fights, you can still outplay those players for sure. I think that there's decent amount of like choices in that game right now as far as like what you want to run. Unfortunately, the Rift has already been taken, so they're going to have to take a car and go. And I feel like with this double mobility setup, you're probably going to be playing more for just like keeping range versus the people who psycho with like the exotic Maven or like the pump combat SMG. And then hopefully just repositioning enough over the course of the fight until you get an advantage. And then the fact that they have like higher DPS output in close range doesn't matter. I think that is the play. I would assume this person's going to be going for the radio tower. It's going to be spawning in like 30 seconds. Imagine they end up dying to the initial person that I spectated that wasn't playing. Oh wow, I didn't even see that person. Probably had them on visuals or something, because I did not see or hear that person. Unfortunately, there's going to be somebody sniping, and this is going to be another fight that's probably just pretty stagnant. That person's playing off a snipe. You probably don't want to overpeak it. He's going to try to push. But again, what you're looking for here is like a few shots on the person, and then you maybe push. He might just get in their face without early damage at all, since they are playing off a snipe. But it can be risky because of like what I talked about. This setup isn't the best damage output in close range. Especially like any time just going on someone dry with no opening tags is rough, but this person's just gonna broom away and then probably snipe back at him. That is this person's life mission, it seems. Getting third party from behind, but that person's aim has not been great, but he has to kind of be worried about the fact that he's pinched between two people. Also somebody rocket ramming. Good damage on that person. Don't know what happened to the sniper though. I don't think the person rocket ramming was a sniper. That's one of the most annoying. What the heck just happened? He's stuck in here? The witch's broom is so annoying. Okay, I thought he was like stuck, but the witch's broom is so annoying for that. I feel like it's like so bad at like breaking structures in comparison to like the Nimbus Clout. They're like basically the same item, but I don't know. I feel like I get in weird situations more with the witch's broom where like nothing breaks. Again, like the trees are just so grief to it. Someone's fighting the boss already. He should be able to third party this. I have to worry about that sniper behind him though. Unless maybe the person that rocket rammed was the sniper and he thinks that sniper left because of it. I'm not sure. Someone killed that person. Fighting at like the slurp truck area. When you're getting these radio towers, I think you want to just like focus on eliminating the other player. The bosses really aren't that big of a deal. As long as somebody doesn't just like kill the thing and leave or like get the key card in, you're fine. Like I just prioritize eliminating other players and controlling the area, and then getting the thing after that. And this is one of the kind of downsides of the setup that I was talking about. That guy is a good player. Like I said, I think that the person who just died there is a better player than the person we're currently spectating. But like the damage output of pump twin mag in a close range fight just isn't the greatest. So unless you already have an HP advantage, you kind of have to play like perfect. And this player can kind of just play like with like the pistol, and it ends up working out. And that's why, like, for the most part, I've been using 3 weapons still with Sharp Tooth, Combat SMG, and Twin Mag Arrow. And then if I get, like, the exotic Maven, then I'll go for, like, the double mobility or the double, like, the mobility utility, like, bunker setup. If you're playing a comp, like, obviously you want, like, the added utility. Fights play out differently. But I think if you're going to use 2 weapon with Sharp Tooth, Twin Mag Arrow, you want to just play more safe and not, like, get in on people without, like, early damage. But I can kind of understand why they did it, because this person just fought, so like they probably should be weak, you know? I'm not sure what this person is doing. The key card and slurp juice are behind them from the boss. There's a person walking to their right as well. I hear the footsteps, I think. And I don't think it was like the guard footsteps. This person just doesn't want to forecast. Alright then. I also really do not think the suppressed pistol is very good as like a spray weapon. I would much rather have the combat SMG 100%. But I mean, that just kind of goes to show how questionable Sharptooth Twin Mag AR can be. If you miss any shots or make any mistakes, someone with like an actual spray weapon can just get you. I'm like so triggered right now that this person didn't get the slurp juice or the key card. That is enraging. What were you even doing over there? He was just over there to be over there with the Spider-Man skin. I think the new Spider-Man game just came out. And he's out here not getting the forecast tower. That is wild. I'm just going to stick with this player, I guess. I don't really know what their life mission is. Again, you want that forecast tower. For anybody who is unaware, because seemingly there are people that are still unaware of what it does, you get to see a zone in advance for the remainder of the game, and that is huge. Just always seeing where next zone is going to be. It's an AI that just shot. They're like on this thing. I'm pretty sure that's an AI. And so, for example, if you had forecasts, you could see like, okay, zone's going to pull over here. I want to be over there. But for some reason, they just chose not to get that. Despite it being like free already on the ground and everything. Combat caches got opened. I guess he really wanted his combat cache, and that's why he left the forecast tower. But I would much rather have forecast. And then it's like you're gonna get a slurp either way. That's fall damage. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. He's gonna try to land in the car, I would imagine. You can do that. I think you can just land, yeah. And then you can start shooting this person, but the person is probably gonna switch seats or get out. And now that person has hits back. I hope that I don't even know who I hope wins this fight. I guess we'll root for Spider-Man, but that was a struggle. They have multiple twin mag ARs. Interesting choice. Is there somebody else up here? He's playing like he thinks there's somebody here. But I didn't see anybody. But yeah, if you are going to get in someone's car like that, just be very aware that they're probably going to switch seats and they're probably going to get out. And then you're kind of left in the back of the car rolling as they jumped out behind you, especially on the pickup truck. So you want to like, just be ready for that to happen. I don't think it's a bad play. There's a person over here to the right. I don't think it's a bad play to like get on the car like that, but it's just like you've got to kind of be aware that like that can happen and be ready to deal with it. If you're ready to deal with it, no problem. GG's. Okay, we're on board with Kato, and that's not Kato Thorn. Island spawned. I'm gonna swap through players real quick. There's one player that I've seen getting a decent amount of kill. This person has 0 build in their name. It's camping in a truck. Not surprising. This is the 0 build player base. Oh, here's Kato Thorn. Oh, we'll go to this person. I guess they seem to be in action. Ish. They got a chicken. What is going on? Is there a challenge for this? And I just won a game before this. Like, before I make these videos, I try to win a game beforehand and then that's why I usually have a crown so that the lobby can be like decently sweaty. But like, whenever I go to record one of these, I just encounter the most unique individuals imaginable. And unfortunately, the player that I know is good, this person was getting kills. But unfortunately, the person I know who kills is good kind of through the fight they got in. They're near that person we saw with the chicken. The person that we saw with the chicken was at that mid, like, brutal building. They have the katana. Do they go for island, though? Where is island? Oh, island is definitely worth going for. So, like, one of the really nice things about controlling island is that you can be up here and then just AR everybody around it. And when you have an island spawn like this, that's like basically dead center of zone, you're going to be able to be relevant on this island for a while and hopefully get a bunch of free AR kills. But also on the flip side, you don't have to deal with somebody else camping island if you're the one controlling it. And that's one of the main reasons why I typically want to control island, especially this season with how like insane the twin mag AR can be. Seems like this player is not very concerned about going for island. But I definitely would want to control it with this zone. Like, sometimes you'll get a zone where it's just like island is on the extreme edge and it's like, you can get it, but it's going to be temporary. But this zone, I think island is going to be relevant for a long time. We'll see, though. Zone does weird stuff sometimes. And also at a time like this, if you wanted to find people, Island is probably going to be your best bet because there's currently 10 people alive and this is the size of the zone. Like, lobbies just die out incredibly fast. And so oftentimes by the time Island spawns, it's one of the few spots where you can actually find other players at. Most of the more active players will con you for it, and then you just get them out of the game and your end game is a lot easier. I think he heard somebody zip up there. They hit the mushroom. It's that person we saw with the chicken. Not relevant damage. That's just going to be in the overshield, and it's just going to go away. Another reason why I would want to go for Island in a zone like this is I just hate the jungle. And so just being up there and not having to worry about people and trees and all that stuff is just, I feel like, makes your life a lot easier. And then you have the launch pads for rotation out. So, like, it's unlikely Island gets next zone. But by the time it doesn't get zoned, you could just, like, pad off and then go to Frenzy or at Mega City, wherever zone ends up being. It's possible this player has forecast and knows where zone is going to be. But unfortunately, that doesn't show on Spectator if somebody has forecast. Only one person in this lobby got a forecast tower though, by the way. This one didn't get obtained still, and this one is still like relevant or like still fresh. So being the one person in this lobby who got forecast is a huge advantage. And I mean, this player doesn't have a slurp, but I was gonna say I could see it being them because I think the only forecast tower that was claimed was this one. Oh, sick. Someone just got this one close to them. I will try to get the other forecast towers if for some reason other people aren't getting them, just to deny the forecast. Because it's 3 per game, and the person who gets it has like a huge advantage as far as knowing where zone is going to be and it being able to plan ahead end game. There's a player down there that just got the tower that this person should be aware of. Not really sure what they're looting for at this point because they've been looting constantly, but I don't really know what they need. Like, they have solid loot. And I would assume at this point, if they're using the Infiltrator shotgun, it's because they want to use it. And they have the katana as mobility. I mean, I guess if they're going to use the Infiltrator shotgun, the Mythic is nice. But, like, one of the main things I want to do is just, like, shoot people from the house. And so if I was in this situation, I would have got up here and then tried to look down on that person that just claimed that radio tower. Because they put it in. It made the audio queue. And that could be a free kill. And that's also an irrelevant kill to get that person out of the game. Because, like I was saying, the person who gets it has a huge advantage in game. And so if you're the only one who gets the radio tower and then you're able to claim others and deny that advantage, you just have a huge advantage on everyone else. That's why I was saying I would like to get them to waste it. He's going to get this relatively for free. I don't know if he's going to take the slurps or not. He might just prefer to have splashes. I think slurps are the best. But I don't think someone's crazy for liking splashes. What is he doing? The person is behind him. So he could have just like pre-aimed that zipline and like killed that person for free. But like for some reason he like gave us back to them. He wants to like splash damage this RPG, which could be good, but I think just pre-aiming the top of the zipline when that guy was coming up behind you is like a free kill. Now this guy's just gonna rat in the house. And like oddly enough, wait, I don't think they captured the point. So one of the things I like to do on Island is just get the point close to being captured, but not quite. That way, if a situation like this happens where you're on Island and someone's just camping, you can oh, that's a kill. What? Oh, okay, they died. I was about to say, how did they die? But he could have hopped on the point there, and when you capture the point, you get a radar ping. And so if that person just continued to rat in the house, they could do this. And then whenever it finished capturing, it should be soon. Okay. Whenever they finish capping, like now they would have a radar ping and they would know exactly where that person is camping. What I was going to say about the splashes is I don't know if this person's going to take the slurp because some people rate splashes, probably just going to waste it. Yeah. Some people rate splashes higher than slurps, and like there's a point to be made there, especially when it comes to the exotic ones, because slurps can take a while to actually heal you. But I like that you can just use it and then you're healing from that point forward, and then you can do more with your character. You know, you don't need to sit there healing. You can shoot back, you can use mobility, run around. And you can kind of do some of that with splashes, but slurp is really convenient for that reason. That's why it's one of the better healing items, especially in build mode. I think the gap is smaller in zero build than it is builds. And if you have the exotic splashes, I definitely could see a world in which that's just a better healing item in a given situation. He's like very intent on using the katana. I hope this ends up getting them grief. But I could see a world where the exotic slaps are just a better healing item. Like if you're weak and you want to get health fast, the slaps are better. But one of the reasons why I like having slurps over the exotic slaps is just that I feel like I'm more likely to get slurps as the game goes on. Whereas like it's pretty rare that you encounter exotic slaps. Like you're going to have to either find more llamas or, you know, get it from holo chests. Whereas, like, sometimes you'll kill people in game that have slurps, you know? Or if, you know, you got radio tower and cash, you got your 2 slurps and you have to use one, you can maybe go for island. I just feel like you're more likely to encounter slurps. This radio tower was still never opened or put in. It's crazy. Where'd zone go? Kind of a gross zone. I hope this player, like, relying on the melee ends up losing them the game, because I don't think it's... Like, it can be good, but they're trying for it way too hard. Like, they could have shot that guy and then gone for it, but they were just, like, very intent on trying to use the melee. It might be for a challenge, I don't know. But I was never a big fan of the melee effect of the katanas or the shockwave hammers. I feel like it's pretty gimmicky, because, like, if you hit them and you catch them in that animation, and they're kind of, like, stun locked at times, I feel like, when you get hit with the katana, and that can result in just, like, the person being a free kill. But also if it, like, misses, or there's, like, a piece of trash in between you and them, or maybe they soaring sprint jump, then you're stuck in the animation, and it's just, like, a very like, feast or famine way to play the game. And it's just, like, I would rather just, like, play normally and, like, get my kills, you know, by just playing well, rather than either cheesing them with the katana, or, like, my game getting thrown because the katana hit didn't register. The player in this barn under them, I'm pretty sure. Like, the footsteps sound too loud to be the NPCs. Just playing edge of zone here, which can be good, but it also, like, if anything goes wrong, it can cost them. They don't have much wiggle room. Like, if that person in the barn shoots them in the back right now, things are gonna get weird. If there is a person in the barn. Maybe it was the NPC's footsteps, I don't know. It sounded way too loud to me to be the NPC. Person on that house and person in the car. Person in the house probably heard his crown activate, but some people don't, like, put 2 and 2 together. I don't... The person in the house might beam him, though. I feel like they have line of sight on it. Person in the car is just a distraction. I feel like if you're in this situation, you want to not focus on the person in the car, which is kind of what this person has done, which is good. If they just shot at that car, the likelihood of them getting that kill is not that big, like, not that likely. But they reveal their entire location to the rest of the lobby. And also, the person in the car isn't the biggest threat. Whereas, like, this person in the house is the biggest threat, so I like that they did that. They got, like, 120 damage there. This should be a free kill. And this is kind of like what I was talking about with the katana animation. Like, it doesn't cost him there because this person is just weak and concerned about healing. But had that person been more, you know, aware of the situation, then, like, the fact that he was, like, stuck in that animation missing there can get, like, just be game over. 1v1v1 now. I think this player wins this game. They seem decent. I just don't like that they're relying so much on the katana. Again, I don't worry about that car there. Just worry about the person shooting the car. The car is already weak enough to the point where, like, you can get that person out of the game when it matters. Whereas now he shot at the car there, and then he gave his location away to this person. This is going to be a kill, I think. Alright, GG's. Again, had that person hit any shots, it's game over. He's lucky that person who's using the stake shotgun. Imagine a world where that person has the exotic Maven. Like, he'd probably just dead. Like, sure, this gives Siphon, but... And there we go. Was that an exotic Maven? No, it was just a regular Maven. But again, as soon as somebody fought back, it was game over. Like, the big, like, that katana is so, like... I mean, it sounds funny. It's hit or miss. If you miss and you get stuck in that animation, it's game over. And they kind of fumbled their inventory there with the RPG. I think if they just... stuck on their shotgun, killed him with the shotgun, like, it's probably GG's. But taking as much damage as they took versus that previous player put them in a situation where this guy had an easier time cleaning them up. And I think a decent part of that was them focusing the car, which is kind of weird because they didn't do it the first time. The first time they were driving around in a truck, they shot the person shooting the car. That person on the house is a bigger threat. Kill them while they're distracted, let the car be, and then, like, the same situation occurred again, and for some reason they shot at the car, and then that just made it to where that, I don't know the name of that skin, I think it's Pause, but it made it to where they could, like, hold them and get damage, and then they still got the kill, but it made their life more difficult than if they just shot the Pause while they were distracted on this player. They would have gone into this last fight with more HP and probably not as, like, flustered with the situation. But that is gonna be it for this video. As always, if you guys enjoy this, give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, comment down below what level you have gotten to so far this season, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.